He's about to be like a director.
No, you have to.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SpeakEZ podcast, episode 4. You got a guest. It's our first guest of the whole damn series. Took us 4 shows. We're checking some shit out. We're checking some shit out. I got Tony to my right, got Josh to my left. I'm Walter, and our guest, Ace, is joining us today.
Hello.
Say what's up, Ace.
Thanks for having me here, guys. Yeah. Real appreciate it.
Yeah, we love having you here too.
Having you here.
Having you here. We love having you here. Hey, we said we're gonna bust some balls.
What happened?
These drinks are amazing, dude. I like it.
It was full.
It was full. It was full.
And Ace
These
drinks.
drinks.
And I grabbed it.
Yeah.
Looks like period blood.
Oh, no, it's not. It's
my
not.
favorite.
Oh, Jesus
It
Christ.
doesn't have the same viscosity.
We're good.
Ooh, I don't like that
Not
word.
as
I like
tangy.
that word.
I don't like it.
It
Not
applies
as
a lot
tangy.
of texture.
I would like to never hear that word again.
It's kind of like how girls feel about the word moisture. She's like, ugh, they don't like it. They don't like it. Ugh, look at it. Oh, we got some guests that don't like moist
What
either.
about damp?
We have a couple of ladies in the crowd.
We
that
have a
don't
couple
like the
ladies in the
word
crowd. Don't like the word moist.
moist.
I like it. So look, why don't we, do what we do every week and tell us about this nice little bottle we have
This
in
is
front of us.
a hemp seed infused vodka that tastes a little like gin. It is not. You will not feel the same effects that you do from smoking.
The way you mixed it makes it feel like makes it taste like a Capri Sun. That's what
Yeah.
it is. It's nice. I like it.
I remember when I drank Capri.
Now, how infused is it? Do you know?
Last week.
Do you happen to know? Like, are we gonna get high and drunk at the same time?
You will not get high at all.
Son of a
See
bitch.
in there.
What's the point? We hung Snoop Dogg right behind us for this drink, and now I'm not even
Where's
gonna
that
get
Four Loco?
Yeah. Well, the idea is that idiots who smoke, not all people who smoke are idiots, but
True.
idiots who smoke, see this bottle and go, bro, fuck yeah.
Branding, marketing.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then I make a liquid marijuana to really push the point. Yeah.
Now, do you actually serve this where you work?
No.
No? So how did you discover this shit?
A vendor came in and wanted me to try it out. I like it. I might serve
Yeah.
it pretty soon.
I like it.
It's good flavor.
I'm enjoying it.
The bottle cost is relatively cheap. So.
Have you ever seen this before?
I have not. I've come across a couple of like similar kind of things, but this one definitely has a little bit more of the floral and botanical kind of flavor.
Floral and botanical.
Wow, it's gonna be that kind of show.
Floral,
Floral, botanical. Hey,
Bring it down a little bit.
No, you stay where you
It
want to
tastes
stay,
like
bro.
flowers and dirt.
I like that. Yeah, you want those words?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is fucking,
I'll have a double, please.
we got some mixers up in here. We got mixologists in the house. Are you guys mixologists or bartenders?
I actually call myself a cantinero.
Cantinero. All right. Even to white people, you make them call you cantinero?
Yeah, it makes them feel a little bit more festive, like they're on
They're having a good
vacation
time.
or whatever.
Taco
Like
Tuesday
Taco
tastes better.
Tuesday and fucking Alhambra.
So,
I'm a Libra.
so
So today we're gonna talk about
still Aquarius season, isn't it?
Oh, nah.
What the fuck? You gotta hate on my sign, bro. I used to walk them Mercado.
the last week we talked about comedians and the setup as a comic, whether you're performing in a bar or a comedy club or the bedroom, and how we didn't talk about that.
No.
How you
But I
switch things
perform
up.
in the bedroom.
Right.
Those are my best jokes. She's
Yeah.
always laughing.
I'm sure there's a lot of laughter.
I don't take it personal. Fuck that.
I mean, it's part of your job.
Yeah, it's part of my job. I need to get used to rejection.
So this week we're going to talk about bartending and the art of that, if in fact there
I
is
think
art.
that's the correct word.
Yeah.
I think you guys are artists. Some
So
of you.
What I did was I searched high and low. I looked everywhere for like one of the best bartenders ever, who respected the craft, who loved it, who wanted to talk about it, who wanted to appreciate it, and they weren't available.
Right.
So
I figured.
When you get,
Yeah.
when you get
So
here.
you went on Grindr and found the next best
yes,
I was close, spies.
second close.
I just
You
found
did your
it,
research.
ace up my sleeve.
Just swipe left.
I swiped the wrong way, but it turned out all right.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the value of a bartender, which
like
is a hoity-toity way of making myself feel important because I am a
We
bartender.
know you
A
like
little
that.
bit.
You
Prima
like to feel
donna's a little
good.
bit.
Look, man,
Sometimes.
you can joke all you want, but I think you guys are vital. I mean, I know it's a joke and a cliche that you guys are therapists and this and that, but I genuinely believe it. People go in there and fucking talk your ears off, and you guys are nice enough to partake in stupid conversation just to help them out or get a better tip. I don't know. What's your
I
purpose?
just want to say you're welcome.
No, thank you. I haven't done that myself, but One day I know I'll need some bar therapy for sure.
Definitely not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody.
There's no couch.
So Ace, what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I would like to continue along the lines of the same thing you guys are talking about. You know, obviously, your value of your bartender depends on where you're at and kind of the type of establishment you have. You know, and no, you know, not kidding around, but most of the time, like you can't teach the personality aspect of it, and I can't stress that enough. You know, I'm sure you guys have been to other bars where they're just completely don't say anything,
They're
don't
in another
engage,
planet.
don't say nothing. And I think I'm like, people can have a fucking Corona at home. They're coming to you to see for a reason. You got to give them a reason.
Yeah, fuck
you
Corona,
know?
by the way.
And it doesn't matter if you're at a dive bar or a nightclub or, you know, wherever it is. It's like you're there for a reason. I'd like to think that that's one of the things that I value a lot, obviously.
So what's your favorite environment to be in when it comes to bars? Do you have a preference? Do you hate certain type of vibes? Do you love certain type of vibes?
Well, I mean, every bar has its own little different ambiance, you know, to be honest with you. You know, you go to a dive bar and you know it's a shitty dive bar, you might just have a fucking Coors Light and Jaeger bomb, you know?
And walk away with some syphilis or something.
You know, I wouldn't expect to get a smoked old fashioned at a punk bar, you know?
That'd be nice though.
It would be nice.
I think that actually goes together. In my
Well,
opinion.
actually, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is that because I do believe that if you are in a bar and you are behind the bar and you should have a certain level of knowledge. And I think that as of late, there's been a trend a little bit of people that are not as qualified as they should be.
Ooh.
And it
got
kind
some
of
problems with some bartenders? What kind of bartenders
No,
you
I
have
ain't got no
problems with,
beef with
Ace?
nobody because I'll name names.
I mean, we ain't starting no turf wars or nothing.
No, not. I mean, nobody.
Let us have it. What are you talking about? I think there's someone specific or specific.
Well,
group.
I mean, I guess to lay it out, we gotta go back a little bit to where, like, you know, kind of where bartending started. And bartending used to be like a good old boys club. Like it was just basically just guys only bartending. Women weren't
pretty
bartenders
sure
back then.
this whole world started with just guys.
And that's the way
Now you got my
it
attention,
happened.
guys
And
only.
slowly but surely, obviously, like I've noticed a huge trend that's coming on. And there are just certain I'm about to turn 40 myself. Okay, and I had a friend when I first started bartending, and his name was Brendan. And he was just about to get to that age, and he was there 5 days a week. Had been there for years and years and years. And he turned 40, and the bar switched ownership, and all of a sudden they let him go, and they hired a bunch of fucking young little fucking hot chicks. They had no idea what they were doing, and at 40 years old, experienced as he was, he could not find another fucking gig.
What?
'Cause he didn't-
Now, come on, man. That has to be ability driven. If you can't find another job, your ability has to come into play. Am I right or wrong? Am I like, what do you think?
No, not if they're really hot. yeah. They're trying to move drinks. And they don't care about atmosphere or.
Well, I'm talking about the guy it was a guy, right?
Yeah.
That stopped working because he got replaced by titties? Or is that
Yeah,
what you're
basically,
saying?
they let him go.
And then he couldn't find another gig.
Well, here's the thing: is that not everybody has the
Can't
same.
blame the titties, bro.
I'm not. What I'm saying is like there's a market for everything, you
Right.
know. But what I also see is that why are you going to hire 3 girls to replace one person?
Because probably 3 hot chicks will make you more drink orders than one
No,
good dude.
no. I will outpour 3 girls at a time, anytime,
Now, can you outwoo
and
that
let them go
number of
change the
people?
game.
Now, serious question. Can you outwoo the number of people that they're wooing? I mean, 3 people can cover greater distances than one bartender. I'm
Yeah,
not the quality of your pours and all your bartending skills are not. I'm not putting that in question. I'm just like, can you literally work the same way 3 people work and create that much more?
I might be exaggerating by saying 3 people.
Okay.
But definitely, like
We need facts here.
No, but I mean, he wasn't a fast bartender as it was. But what I was trying to kind of like put out there is that the reason he couldn't get work was because of that trend.
Also, you're blaming the trend.
It's the trend of like they think like I believe like I don't think it should be a good old boys club at all. Like I'm far from that. Some of the most prolific bartenders I've met are amazing female bartenders. And I'll give a shout out to my friend Kristen Wheatley.
So, Kristen?
Who I hope she will come on the show sooner or later.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
And she is a complete rock star. Absolute beast. And she's like 5'10", 5'3" and redhead and just feisty and just amazing at what she does because
Sounds
she's
like a human fireball.
she's got a nice rack on her. I mean, she's not bad to look at, you know. So the reality is just that you can be amazing at your job and have the whole package and be good looking and still attract that because you become their value skyrockets because of that. If you can actually have the skills to do it, but I don't think a lot of them are either being pushed by management to become better, or they just don't care.
Or they're just focused on titties. I mean,
some people don't give a shit. I'm sure, they just show up and they're like the blue collar kind of guy. They're gonna show up.
The Jack and Coke kind of guy.
And he just wants a picture of beer and look at his wife. Look at these tits because they got to go home to their fucking torta of a wife. I
love tortas.
That's the real truth.
I don't know why he's hating on fat chicks. Love fat chicks.
Yeah, what are we ordering Taco Bell?
I love a lot more fat chicks than you think.
I love it.
I'll take a
Like
chalupa.
tortas, chonchas, I'll take it all.
Well, okay, so if the idea here is basically to present the value of a bartender, I thought about this earlier because we actually do some semblance of planning before these things.
Yeah, a little bit.
I get what Ace is saying only because I liken it to the real estate industry.
Okay.
Roughly, let's say about 8 years ago or so, where everyone was getting their license. I had teachers, come in. And
I forget you were in the real estate world.
Right. So I started in the real estate office at 16.
Humble brag.
And it was it was a lot. There were a lot of agents.
Yeah.
The office was packed. It was an entire top floor of like a 12-story building, and the real estate office was that was their floor. And there were so many agents. Some were just in and out. Some had offices, but there were a lot of agents. I took the test and I got my license at like 19, and I realized that getting your license to be a real estate agent is not hard.
Right.
It's not that easy.
You're studying for a test. Just study.
Yeah, you're studying for a test.
Sounds impressive though.
Right? Yeah, but
For real.
But
It's a great
being
title.
an agent is incredibly difficult. And what you ended up seeing was a drastic fall off. Aside from the market crashing, you saw a lot of agents just like, well, fuck that. I mean, I'd rather do a steady
They just got
paycheck.
flooded,
Yeah,
right?
super flooded. So, so they all became bartenders. No, no, but what I'm doing here is comparing the fact that now, especially considering what is considered hireable as a bartender, to be one isn't all that difficult. To call yourself a bartender. I mean, I've got people that, one of our guests in another show worked festivals with me. I mean, these people sucked ass.
Oh my God.
And it was a limited menu. It was like 5 items. Like, that's it.
Those are your ones that are coming out of bartender school, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a bartender," and they take pictures and
Right.
My name's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So I think the idea is that so if we look at dive bars that have just females in them that work there, a majority of them are hired simply because they're hot.
Yeah.
Because bartending is teachable.
I mean, you saw the intro of this show.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And those are
And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that there's a market. I always say there's room enough for everybody to eat.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because if that's what you believe, why you have this kind of like a little...
It's not, and it doesn't matter that it's because they're females. It matters to me because the skill level's not there.
So you're just the skill level.
The skill level is not.
bothering
It just,
you.
but
Not the trend itself. Of
well, I mean, coming
bikini
from like
models and shit.
I work as a bar consultant most of the time now. I mean, I go into places and I actually fix them. And one of the places that I'm working at right now, it's called Cocktails Anyone. It's in Bellflower, and that place when I got there, it wasn't firing.
So you're responsible for the John Mayer that I walked in on.
Well, so what I really asked, they asked me, it was like, hey, do you want to just fire everybody and fucking hire new staff?
Oh, shit.
And I said no. And it was all female staff, and I told them, like, give me a chance to fucking train them and give them the tools that they need to succeed. And yeah, these girls
That made me like you a little bit more, Ace.
over the course of the last year, like, I've seen them drastically improve. I mean, they're not any fucking rock star bartenders, but like they can handle like 7,000 drinks at once, but they are heads and shoulders above where they were. And I make sure to consistently reinforce them with positive things to say and show them techniques when they make mistakes. And and tell them it's okay. You know, I still make mistakes. I spill drinks and fucking accidentally. Oh shit, that's supposed to be tequila. Shit.
Oops. Drink it
You
for
know,
free.
so none of us are fucking. We got our hands clean when it comes to that stuff. But that's the things that I really, really want to stress on. Is
I mean, when you talk about value, I'd like to know what kind of value do you guys bring to the consumer or to your establishment,
Tony?
personally?
Well, I am amazing. No, realistically speaking, whenever
I hate his
and
fucking
humble.
cockiness
And
because
humble.
it's true.
Whenever
Really good.
I think you want that in a bartender. You want them to be a little cocky.
Yeah, you want to know, and I'm gonna get to that with regards to what you guys expect from a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, the mentality that I have is complete ownership of the bar that I'm working at. Okay, meaning that bar is mine, even if it's not my name on the building. Okay, that bar is my bar, and what that means is that no one's going to outthink me there. No one's going to try to get some free alcohol unless I absolutely allow it. No one is going to try to get one over on my other bartenders. And I also tell them that this is your bar. So you got to own it. You got to run this place like your own. In terms of the confidence that I have behind the bar, it is equal parts literal and fake. I mean, there's times where I get a drink order, I don't know what the fuck that is. Right? So we have smartphones
That never
now.
happens to me.
I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna Google it and realize that they only call it that in WeHo, and it's really a wet pussy, but this motherfucker didn't want to say wet pussy. You know, so like, why didn't you just say wet pussy, stupid? Like, you know, like,
My mama taught me better than that.
Oh, I love scolding customers.
yeah, so
Do you? You guys
I
like that
fucking
shit?
love it. It's like,
Are you guys all passive aggressive about that shit?
well, no.
well, you know,
Just
I mean,
straight up?
you know,
Talk straight up
down
on
so
voice
we
and
can-
then
sometimes-
Yeah. Talk down to us. Sorry, bro. Don't call it wet pussy.
No, but I do feel like there's a certain level of confidence that you need, but not just as a bartender. You need that in any job. Walter, do you think you're a funny comedian?
I do.
Exactly.
And sometimes I'm up there, and for like a 30-second period, I'll fake it.
Yeah.
Because I'm lost,
Dialing
and
it
I don't
in,
know what
loading
the
it home.
fuck's next, and I need some time to think about
When
it.
Walter fakes it, he does this. Fuck it.
He's seen a lot of my shows.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of my shows. And then I come with some brilliance.
Filling in some time real quick.
Buying time, buying
How about next?
time.
Let's just tongue for a while.
Yeah, then for some reason that shit just restarts his brain and he comes
It
out
does.
with a good joke.
It does.
So yeah, I think in any job that you have, there's a level of confidence that's necessary to succeed. But also, I feel, and this is where I'm gonna segue to you guys, I feel that the customer expects that walking in. Like when they come up to me, whether they're ordering a Jack and Coke or an Aviation, they expect me to know what both of those are, how to make them, how they're presented, the temperature at which to serve them, and whether or not it's good. Of course, there's going to be people who want it a certain way, but when you walk into a bar, there's an expectation that you have that this person, I'm trusting you to be able to make me a drink the way that I'm ordering it.
Yeah.
So leading towards you guys as customers and connecting what A said. When you walk into a bar and you order a drink, after a good 5-10 minutes, are you aware that this bartender is either good, bad, faking it, not faking it?
I think as a consumer, I'm doing this because you hardly drink. You don't really drink. But I mean, do you have an opinion on this? Like, because you don't drink.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have gone out before. I think it depends where you're going. Like, if you're going to a place that's a dive bar, I'm just going here for a beer, whatever, a sandwich or burger, then you don't really care that much. But if I'm going to a place, and like that one bar we went to, and
the
it's like,
puzzle? The
where they're
puzzle
like
place?
$15 drinks, I'm like, this better I better drink this and see visions of my dead grandmother.
And you should, for that amount of money, you should be expecting
I'm like, this
a
better be
phenomenal
fucking
cocktail.
amazing.
Yeah.
I should feel ants walking on my balls.
Yeah.
But look, for me personally, I don't really care as I walk in. I've gone to so many that you only stand out on either extreme. You only stand out if you're shitty as fuck or if you're great. Because if I order, and I'm more, whiskey on the rocks type of guy, so you can't really fuck my shit up. But every now and then,
What
I
kind
want
of
to try
whiskey?
something. I'm a doer's guy. I'm a,
That's Scotch.
Scotch whiskey. It's Scotch whiskey. Is it not? I have 4 bartenders in here, motherfuckers. You guys choose whichever word you want. That shit's whiskey to me. I lift out the Scotch. But I like, so to me I'm not that complicated. But every now and then I want to order something fancy, something creative or whatever. I'm ordering something cool. And I'm like, sorry, my uncle just showed up with a fucking leaf blower. You guys messed up his appointment. Theo, you gotta go.
Fuck
You
off.
might hear that shit, but anyway, it's all right. But you know, you only stand. So if I order something cool, something fancy, whatever, and you kill it, like your what's the one with the fucking egg thing that you did?
Yeah,
and
with
shit?
Egg white whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour.
I just started drinking whiskey sours, and then
That
saw you
shit
make
was
that. I was
bomb.
like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're like fucking wizard. Like, you put on a lab coat.
It's the
Hey,
texture.
put on
He
his
put on like a
apron
lab
and
coat
shit.
for it, and I was like, why is there? He's putting eggs in my drink. What is this?
Let's go out there. Let me go out
Like,
back
you
to
don't
the
really
ranch.
have a good drink until you taste
Yeah,
a
but
good
you know what?
fucking
Exactly.
drink.
But
Then
you
you're
know, I
like,
drank it, and I was like,
Fuck.
okay, that's.
And you're not even a drinker.
Yeah, I was like,
So
wow.
that's the beauty of it for me. It's up to you to stand out. It's not up to me for you to stand out or not. You know, sorry, I'm air drying my balls right now under the table. You guys can hear this. I forgot to dry my pubes, so I'm just. You fucking dude, this is happening. You know, we're out here, we're doing this podcast shit. You hear the sound? I'm gonna acknowledge it. We're gonna break the 7th wall. This is like 6th wall we're breaking.
Fucking vacuuming the wall.
He's vacuuming. I think he's done. Not a lot of leaves today.
Yeah.
It was all that wind last night.
I'm gonna throw a bottle at him right now.
But yeah, that's for me, at least as a drinker going into a bar, and that affects too what he said earlier about the environment. I'm not gonna be as anal if I go to a dive bar. I'm expecting lower level. Now, am I making a mistake by doing that?
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, how is it like a bad thing if they can do those? Like, I always feel like just because I do a lot of what I call mercenary bartending, which I do one-offs at places like, they're like, hey, Ace, I need somebody to fill in. And it might be a bar that I've never even been at, but I'm familiar with their POS. It takes me about 20 minutes to assimilate where everything's at. And then once it's there, like, boom, I'm in rockstar mode. And it doesn't matter to me if you can get a fucking amazing cocktail somewhere. If they have the ingredients, I'll make it. You know, it's no reason for me not to.
But that's you see, for me, it's all about the customer experience, right? So that would be great if I go to a dive bar and you kill it.
Yeah, for me, it's
I
like,
wasn't even expecting great, and you came in with that shit. I'm like, what the fuck's your name?
yeah, exactly.
You know,
And that's what sets you apart. And the thing is that I'm not using anything other than my skills at that point to sell what I'm asking. Like
No,
you
you
said,
think-
you drink whiskey a lot.
Yeah.
Let's say, and that's the whole point. Is that what your bartender should know to say, what kind of whiskey. You like a bourbon, you like a scotch, you like Irish, you like what specific type of whiskey are you looking for?
All those are whiskeys?
Yeah. and there's a rye too. There's Canadian. There's American.
That was just whiskey.
Japanese whiskey.
No, they're all different, and they all have different.
That I could go with, Japanese whiskey. That's from the country.
I love me some Hibiki 21, but
Yeah, that shit's bomb.
Oh my god, amazing. But the thing is that if you don't know, let's say you come in, you drink a Jack and Coke every fucking day. That's your go-to, right? Let's just say you do that, okay? Why don't I just tell you, hey, you have a Jack and Coke every fucking day. Have you tried this? Mm-hmm. You might like this better, or this is something similar along that line, but it might open you up to something. And if they don't have enough time to engage you, my job is to give you exactly what you want, even if you don't know what you want yet.
Damn, how you know more than me?
Because I've
That's
been
what
doing
I'm
it for
wondering.
fucking ever, you know?
Are you like that too? You know what someone wants?
Typically. Yeah.
Typically. Damn, you know what someone wants?
No, never. In any part of my life.
He speaks.
I feel like there's a line of pretentiousness, right? And a bartender will constantly go up and down, you know, where sometimes they hit a particular level where it's like, all right, bro, reel it back, right? Like I'm a Jack and Coke guy, you know that. I don't care where I go.
I'm like, Gentleman Jackson. No.
Nah, just Jack and Coke.
Keep it raw.
But if I go somewhere and I mean, okay, if that situation happens, someone comes up to me and says, let me try this instead. I'm gonna be like, right? But the idea that they're able to do that to me means two things. It means that they're looking at it from a business standpoint, but also from a customer satisfaction standpoint, where it's like, I want you to expand your horizon. I want you to try new things.
Like I said, you can have a drink anywhere. Why are you coming here?
Yeah.
And part of it is that, like, especially like one of the things that really fucking irks me is like, you look up and the fucking bar top is wet and fucking dirty and shit like that. And that's one of the signs to me that you can tell if somebody's been bartending for a while, because if it's dirty, if like there's napkins and coasters and shit like that, and it's reasonably busy, you're supposed to clean as you go and stuff like that. And
So is that a rookie or is that A lazy.
Yeah, that's somebody
a
that's
lazy
just
vet.
kind of like, you know, they're. If you look over, they'll probably be on their phone instead of cleaning.
Oh, that motherfucker.
I had an experience like that at a TGI Fridays. Never going back.
I send people home because of that shit. Put your fucking phone down already, Jesus.
Well, I mean, to me that doesn't bother me as long as you have. I don't like waiting for a drink though. That's my shit. That's my.
What's an
number one
acceptable
thing.
time to wait?
Right now, you should be asking. Me, already.
Looks like we need a refill.
Just want another one?
Hello.
You know? Because you know what happens? I get to this point and I know.
I'm out of Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Can I get another Capri Sun? I get to this point and now it's fucking how my rhythm. You know, so now I don't want to be drinkless, and I know that you're not paying attention to me, or like, you're on your fucking phone. I'm like,
Yeah, you should be
now
looking
I'm
already.
sipping to
Yeah.
save it.
You should be looking already. Your
I
ice
don't
is
want to be.
melted. Fuck, man. They
You
should
know,
be on you.
you should
Oh,
be
yeah.
on it. You should be on
No
me.
more than like a minute, I'd say, especially if it's really busy.
A minute, damn.
Well, you know,
Yeah, you're aggressive.
a minute.
That's a long time in bar talk.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a long time?
A minute is a long time.
Dude, it takes 6 seconds to make a Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
That's true.
A minute is a really long time.
6 seconds.
The only thing that slows you down at that point is the customer.
Like fucking 4 seconds just doing this shit. Damn, that's crazy.
Speed port.
What is your perspective as a bouncer?
Hi, Josh.
You know, with the bartenders at your places that you work, do they stand out in any way? Do you see some taking more pride than others?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious because I work at an Irish pub, one of the bars I work at, and there's this old guy. I won't mention his name because he likes to remain off the grid. He's like one of those old guys. He doesn't want to be recorded.
Witness protection.
Yeah, I think he
used
was
to
in like
be-
the Irish mafia.
Yeah, something like that.
But he like has someone like people come to see this guy. Like he's one of those old school Irish guys.
Yeah, yeah.
He calls like everybody like a fat cunt to their face. Like
That would be an old school Irish?
yeah.
Sign me up.
I've been working there for 10 years and I'm still like called. He's like, hey, you fat cunt. And I'm like, yeah, hello, how you doing? Like he's not one of those people. You don't come.
Like if
there
he saw us,
like,
he'd call us faggots right now for drinking this
He
shit.
doesn't
Out.
care
They
about
say
customer
chivalry's dead.
service.
Fuck that.
But
Now,
people-
wait, but this is the bartender?
This is the bartender.
For some reason, I thought it was a.
He like
a
if you're
customer
taking
or
too
something.
long
Oh, God.
to like make a drink, he's like, "What the fuck do you want? I ain't got all day." Like it's hilarious, and people like some people will.
They
leave.
like it?
Some people be like, "What the fuck's this guy's problem?" You're like, "Yeah, you can't change it." He's like,
Dude, that old school
What
mentality.
are you
Oh,
gonna
my
do?
God.
Like, some people do come there for him though. Like, people
Yeah,
ask for
I
it.
would.
Yeah,
You know,
but
someone
he
else
does
called a
bust
fat
his
cunt.
ass off back
Yeah.
there.
I want to get fat again, so I
Yeah.
get called fat cunt.
Yeah, right now you're just a cunt.
I'm just a cunt. I'm a stretch mark having
And I know
cunt.
that sounds like a bad
Is
word,
there
but
any other
for Irish people, that's like a term of endearment. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
that's a very normal word.
Well, I like this combo, man. We're gonna take a quick break right now. Stay tuned, listen to those commercials, and follow those people that need you. We'll be right back. BIKINI Podcast.
First time I grabbed a brush and put it upon a canvas was 2011. I've been tattooing for 18 years and drawing my whole life. On February 23rd, I'll be collaborating with Homeboy Industries for my 6th solo art exhibit. For more information, check out my Instagram at Mario Lopez Art, and hope all of you can make it. Thank you guys.
BIKINI Podcast. Thank you. Sorry. So we're starting. We're good. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this commercial break. Support those artists. All right. I want to kind of go back on something we touched earlier, which to me, I don't know why you guys are hating on it, because I know Josh and I are in agreement. We love titty bars. I mean, they're fun. We don't go. We
The
don't
bikini bars?
We don't frequent them. Yeah, the bikini bars. Let me be clear. Titty
He
bars.
said titty bars is something different.
It's,
Yeah, no.
it's the same now. Like titty
I don't
bars
like
to me.
strip clubs, so no, we're not talking
Yeah.
about
Okay.
that.
Yeah. He
They
does
make
not.
me sad.
Well, yes, it's a good. They do. You're actually
Well, that's-
real about it.
Yeah.
He's legit about it.
That is like the problem is that you just nailed it right there. You just said titty bar when you meant bikini bar.
Yeah, and I totally meant bikini bar, but it's a titty bar if you're showing me your titties.
I mean that's
Practically.
Some of them do.
and that's
Some of
really
them do.
Like,
They let it pop out, and you say, "Hey, your titties popped out." And they're like, "Yeah, I know."
they're like, yeah,
that's
where
it.
that's where you put the dollar bill.
Yeah.
Josh, you ever work at one of those kind of
I have
places?
not.
No, we've just gone to them.
We've just gone to them
Yeah, we just-
against my will, mostly.
Twisting your arm.
Really, no, I don't like them.
All right, so I personally don't overthink it. It's just another form of entertainment. But you guys, as artists behind the bar, what are your sentiments about it? Legit, like, what do you feel within your heart about those establishments?
I mean, once again, it comes down to like the skill set. Because I mean, it's still before it's anything else, it's a bar, right? And so,
yeah, but don't those places become? Is that part of what bothers you? Maybe is the fact that the titties become more important than the
that's the
bar
whole thing.
part?
Yeah, it does because I mean,
So it makes you feel like you're.
imagine you
not
go to a
valuable.
place that it says blah 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 bar, right? And you got a girl with you, and you go inside, and it's a strip club type environment, and you've never been there before.
Okay.
You walking in, and then obviously she's like, "Is this where you fucking go?" Like,
You see, but I'm gonna be very realistic with you. Girls I kick it with wouldn't have a problem. They would
But
find that a surprise. I'm like, oh shit, look at this place, and then we're shooting fucking Instagram stories and having a
Yeah.
great time.
You don't go to a place like that and ask to see the wine menu.
yeah, no, and I totally get that.
Right. I mean,
I don't have any Moscato or Rosé or
what kind
nothing
of
like
wine
that.
do you recommend with the herpes? I just,
But I mean, even the like the word bar. When you think bar, you think full bar, right? Like alcohol and like no, like some of these places, they're beer and wine only.
You know how I could relate to you is as a comedian that I'm kind of used to performing in nice comedy clubs now, comparing it to like a bringer show, in the sense that the quality of comedy, which is the point of going to a comedy show, is lackluster to say the least. And it's just to put butts in seats, money.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's these shitty ass rookies come in and they're forced to bring 5-10 people, and now the room is packed. And sure, the place made some money, but the quality is just garbage. And there's not going to be any returners. They're not going to come back, and that makes it shitty for the industry. Is that something that bothers you?
It's damaging to you as an artist.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like on my end of it, it's like, why can't you do both? Why can't you be a hot fucking
I like that.
and know how to know your shit?
Yeah.
You know, why can't
That's
you
fair.
do both? You know, and the way it's being portrayed is that the line between stripper and bartender is getting blurred as fuck. Like
Very
you look at
bad.
some of their Instagrams, like at these kinds of places, there's no alcohol is being like they're not.
Is that an epidemic right now?
Yeah, it's. Are you kidding me? Look at Long Beach. Long Beach is getting swarmed with these kinds of places.
Where are these places?
He's like, you want me to give you addresses? And like,
I think we need.
I think we're going to do some research
We need
later.
research. We're doing it for our fans.
The line is blurring. I've recently had to wear significantly less clothing.
I mean, I get, you know, you
I
get,
want
you
to
get
go to there. Is that
associated.
another bar you work at? Because it's not the one I go see you at.
You get associated with these kinds of places. You know, like I said, there is a market for everything. But along with what I was saying earlier, is it's getting saturated. And it's getting saturated, and the trend is going towards that. You know, and it's
How do we stop it?
Well, I
Do
mean,
we wanna stop
I don't even think you need to stop it. I just think you need to make sure that the girls are trained and equipped with the right skill set.
It'd be nice if if it's gonna become a trend and that's what's happening, that would be the
Like you know,
the complimentary aspect that
yeah.
they're at least good at what the fuck they do.
I do marketing too, so it's like I get it. Sex sells. You know, you look at club flyers and all that stuff. They have fucking beautiful chicks that
Well, that's
never
why we
go to
have
these
Josh
bars.
on the show.
That's right.
Otherwise, this shit wouldn't sell.
Love you,
I
Josh.
get that.
Look at that face.
Daddy's sexy.
Fucking John.
Put that on a fucking flyer.
You having a stroke?
Oh, sorry.
Go back.
Cool.
He does one photo shoot.
That's his blue steel.
You smell toast.
Yeah. I smell bacon somewhere. That's I got lost in a trance.
So I mean, that's all I was trying to get at. You know, it's just not. It's not a matter of.
And I was hoping we would fight, man, because I thought you were hating on titties.
Okay,
No,
how about
man,
this?
I mean-
I have a question for you. Like, what if, let's say you're a bar owner and you interview two girls, one a little more homely looking, but she's the best, makes the fastest drinks, makes them perfectly, just how you want them to taste. The other girl, a total, dime piece, looks amazing, but she's going to sell twice as many booze. Well, now who are you going to hire?
Ooh.
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes down to that, it comes to the profit margins. Okay, and when you sell beer because you can't make a drink, your profit margin tumbles down.
Good point.
One fucking vodka cranberry or whatever fucking specialty drink pays for your entire bottle of booze that you just bought.
Good point. Good point. Don't tell. Those numbers are rough estimates.
When you're pouring,
Those numbers are not verified.
I wasn't expecting that answer. I was hoping to be like, well, titties.
No, I'm being serious.
My
I'm like,
answer
look
would
at-
be what?
that's your real answer. I'm like,
Yeah.
and not only that, but the one that has the best personality. So you can do both. Like I can train that hot chick to be a good bartender if she wants to, And the other one, guess what? That's what day shifts are for.
Cold-blooded. Oh shit.
Oh, man.
So if
You've
you're
been,
ugly,
you've
you
been
want
to
to
those day
bartend.
shift fucking strip clubs. You see what's going on in there.
Make sure you go to night school.
Fucking
You're gonna be
stab
busy during
wounds
the
and
day.
cigarette burns.
Yeah. They
Good
saw a
hours,
fresh,
though.
a fresh
kinda
C-section
cold-blooded.
story.
Got a C-section in a bikini bar. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
I saw that. That was at Fritz.
One
It's
piece.
closed now.
Definitely one piece.
I saw that.
Oh shit! I always worry about the one piecers. Like, what's going on under there?
And here's the one thing that I did not say about that is that because they are borderline more stripper than bartender at that point, they have that stripper mentality where they're trying to get your money for nothing, just for shaking their tits instead of making you an actual drink.
What's wrong with that?
So how is that from a bartender, from an owner standpoint?
Bills to pay.
How is that making you money? That doesn't make any sense.
It's not making me money. It's making me spend money. It's not making
the
me
girl
shit.
money.
Yeah, it's making her money, but not the establishment.
I've always had a soft spot for bars that have an influx of nudity or close to. My first bartending job was a dive bar where there were, bikini-clad females.
Let's put it lightly.
Yeah.
You could say more.
Being gentle.
I was the only dude, and it was a bit of a struggle because who's gonna order drinks from me if some other girls over there with their boobs out?
Your perspective is legit.
Right, and aside from that, I mean, there was many times when a customer would ask one of the girls like, "Hey, can you make me a whatever, sex on the beach or something?" And they would do this. And I'd be like, "What? What's that, sex on the beach?"
Oh.
And Tony, you know what's fucked up about that too? Is like most of those kind of places, they keep their own tips.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're giving away knowledge to somebody who was unqualified for the fucking job, and now they get the fucking money.
Yeah. So that
They
aspect
better
of
kick
it,
you down.
it was I mean, I
Somehow.
had certain perks at that particular place. But the idea behind it was
You got
like,
some of that?
yeah, sure. Some of this not specifically named.
By the way, everybody, I'm super confused about this whiskey shit. Bourbon and rye, and I'm
That's a
fucking
bourbon.
lost. Somehow they're like shoes and. Like,
Bourbon and Capri Sun.
I'm Mexican, bro. Fuck this shit. You can't get up in the middle of the podcast. I can just interrupt the talk. That's it.
We
you
need a
can't
cocktail
get
server.
pee in a damn bottle.
Look at it, it's a pee right here. I'm not getting up. It's all about the people.
All for you, because we can't cut apparently.
By the way, what was your best perk at that bikini bar?
Okay, well the turnover rate for female bartenders was extremely high, so I didn't have to
Shocker.
really hurt anyone because it just didn't work.
But why do you think that is?
Because of lack of skills or they were doing things that they weren't supposed to, i.e., not bartending. Okay, so as far
Choking on
as
eggplants.
an actual opinion about this, because I think I'm the only one that hasn't said specifically.
Yeah.
I have I have a soft spot for places like this because at the end of the day, a mass majority of the females that I've worked with from the place that I worked with are still friends with me now. And I think of them and I think to myself, where are they right now? Are they still bartending or are they doing something else? And that kind of answers the question of whether or not this was a job for them or this was a career. We have a friend who quit bartending. She just doesn't do it anymore. And I mean, she was one of the more reserved ones, you know. The only time her nipple came out was when it was in an accident. And she would just go like, well, and then do her stupid dance that she does, you know. But I think that...
I love that, bro.
Yeah, I think that her mentality...
Nipple dance?
What?
Was that a nipple dance?
No, her dancing's horrible.
It's a black chick who can't dance.
Yeah, it's an anomaly. I don't understand it. But
crazy.
But the way that I viewed her was that she was above the mentality of that stripper mentality. Like she knew what she was doing the entire time, even if she was playing dumb. You know,
I actually met a girl at at the same place you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I hired her at Cuban Pete's to work for me. And she was a fucking rock. She was fucking a rock star and still beautiful and gorgeous and knew her shit.
Yeah.
Every now and then she, you know, it's a nightclub, so every now and then they order weird shots sometimes. Like, Ace, what's up? I'm like...
You know, you bring up you guys are talking about something very interesting because where I was doing the comedy show in Downey, I won't say that place because fuck that place.
I know what you're talking about.
Fuck that place. But he got hot bartenders and they didn't know shit. And all my because now I was using it as my venue, right? So now, and I'm huge on that. Like, food needs to taste bomb, drinks need to be bomb. Because when I was successful in downtown Fullerton, the bar that I was doing the comedy shows at, everybody raved about the drinks. They would come from fucking East LA to Fullerton on a Wednesday night for comedy and bomb ass drinks and bomb ass food. And you know, church awesome. Lounge with an E. Church lounge, and it made a huge difference. And in this place, people wouldn't come back because the service was shit and the drinks were shit and they were overpriced.
What's up is that reflects on you.
Yeah, it reflects on definitely.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, it reflects on you.
Especially because I'm documenting the place and look how pimp it looks, whatever, and then the substance isn't there. You know, it's just a facade like these. And I like the girls, and I don't mean to talk shit on them, and I'm sorry that I kind of am, but it's not my fault. I didn't control your skill level. You know, they're beautiful women, awesome to talk to, but the skill level was garbage. I mean, you order a Jameson, you know, and ginger ale. One of them literally said was ginger ale. How do you, what? And I'm not even joking. Literally said, what's ginger ale?
Yeah, regularly, they don't know what vodka tonics are.
Like, you gotta be out of your fucking
Never heard
mind.
of tonic for some reason. I'm like,
but banging asses and great faces and, you know, but even that wasn't good enough. They didn't come back for the tits and ass. It didn't help that they had attitudes too.
I always have a saying, pretty chicks are a dime a dozen, dude.
Right?
Seriously, because, and especially in this industry, you see so many beautiful women over, and you as a bouncer, you know, how many times have you been like, I can't get kicked out because I'm hot. Like, I kind of like, they get super drunk and they're just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm cute. What are you doing?
Like, don't even have the idea. I had this one chick come to me at the door and I was like, oh, can I see your ID? She's like, really? Do I need my ID? Like, look how cute I am. And I was like, bye, bitch. I literally was like, I don't work here.
I've seen cute.
You got swish, swish, swish.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of porn. You're like a scout.
I don't know how that works.
Just like the audacity, like
It's kind of true, man. It's kind of true.
Yeah. So my stance is I mean, it's a little fluid, mainly because I have a soft spot for people that work at bars like this.
And the women.
Yeah, and the women, of course. But basically, with any job, okay, with any job that you have, there's always going to be that place where you're just like, why do they still work here? Like, what's wrong with they? They don't do anything. Like, what does he do? You know, and with certain jobs, in the place that we're talking, that I'm talking about specifically, we were talking about it earlier. How this place, which I'm bottoms up, where my first bar job, we've promoted them a couple of times. They're in our intro video. They have a particular model.
That's why during that promotion.
Well, I don't know what you were doing with that.
I go there once a week.
Right. You know, the best way to, you know.
I don't think that had anything to do with the girls.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, it
that was
didn't.
all.
It was a different encounter I had.
Okay, so the owners of Bottoms Up are smart in the aspect where, yes, they may hire someone who has a particular look or a way of pushing themselves, okay? But there's almost always someone there that knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, they're smart
Yeah.
enough to staff somebody
Yeah.
that, hey, guess what? If she doesn't know, I can help her and
Yeah.
make it happen.
And to be fair, the owners of Bottoms Up are relatively no nonsense. Like,
yeah, no,
like,
I've known them for
Yeah.
over 10 years.
Like, if some
they
shit
are.
goes down, they're gonna show up at the bar. They're not gonna make a phone call. They're gonna show up, both of them.
They watch on them
And yeah.
with the baby in their arms.
Right. Yeah. They're gonna come through.
Which
they're,
bitch was doing that shit?
They're going to pull the girl aside. They're going to tell her to leave, and that's that. You know, and at the same time, I mean, they're also forgiving. They'll give you a second chance. They want you to grow as a bartender. Susie has she has a mind where I'm aware of what I'm creating here. I know what this place
It's
is.
a self-awareness.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
and I think that's a very unique, especially in that industry, because there's a lot of places that they're just like, nope.
Yeah. Well, that's ultimately what it comes down to. My point is, as an individual who's working in one of these places, who is well aware that they don't know how to bartend and they're just doing this for money, but they don't want to strip. Like, to me, as long as you're self-aware, go get it, girl. Get your money, make your money, do what you gotta do. I will support you. I'll show up.
Don't let that money make you.
Right? Nah, man, because I got friends that to this day still work at that very bar. We have a guest coming up whose cousin still works, and she's awesome. I don't know if you know the connection. by the way.
I might.
Really?
You Ray Ray, you know Ray Ray. You know Ray Ray. I just saw her the other day.
Yeah, but like,
I like how he said the name and then he said the other day. Like he just changed his accent when he started talking about Ray Ray.
His name's Jerome. All of a sudden. What happened? Just transformed.
I just saw her the other day.
yeah. So I feel like for those that, okay, well, if we're questioning the shift in dynamics of bars and how they're changing and everything, I think, honestly, similar to the real estate world, this will just filter the shit out. Anyone who...
Any industry, man.
Yeah, it's not going
Especially
to work
now with fucking Yelp and all the reviews and access to your social media and all this crap. We were just reading a Yelp review during the break. It was hilarious as Yelp review about the Irish bartender.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, but they're going to review you and you're not going to last.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Any industry, any profession. I'm Jamaican. I have like 10 jobs, and each one I want to make sure that I kill it. I want to stand out. I want to make sure that you fucking feel something, that you remember me. You know, otherwise you're not gonna have any longevity.
Did you say you're
in your job.
Jamaican?
You know, I just remember. You remember in Living Color, the
Stereo-
Jamaican family? They all had like 10 jobs and
Jamaicans
shit.
have many jobs.
Yeah, Jamaicans have a lot of jobs.
I
Even
guess.
though I've never met a Jamaican
Yeah, that sounds racist. Whatever.
with a lot of jobs.
Yups. Yeah, so that's my stance. That basically, girl, get your money. I'll support you. I have friends that still, you know, I know this one girl that I've known for a while. She still will, if I'm ever visiting her at the bar and someone orders it, she'll still look at me. And she'll pour, and she's waiting for me to do this. Right? Like,
You traumatized.
like just because they just don't know how to make it. It's not a thing that's ordered commonly.
Do you give her like a step? Do you give her like an
Oh my
acknowledgement step?
God.
Yeah, you're doing good, girl. You're doing good.
And I'll be all, bartending is not for everybody.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it's not for everybody. If you can't count or do math, it's not for you.
What? 2 for me, 1 for them? Doesn't count? Like,
I mean, it gets really hard when you have a few drinks in you and you have to count a drawer with like $3,000 in it.
start all over.
But if you're good at it, if you have a system, it's possible.
show up with a fucking counter. All right, man. Well, look, it's been a great show. I had a great time having Ace. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Don't be hating on bikini bars.
I still go, man.
Hey, stop hating on bikini bars, bro.
Why do you think I get mad? It's like, because I'm like,
I go for the titties, but I also go for
I'm
the
not
great
asking.
drinks.
I'm not asking for a smoked fucking old fashioned. I'm like, can you just
Walter,
no?
we're gonna go to a bikini bar after the show,
Oh
and
my
he's gonna order a smoked old fashioned.
No, he's not.
I'm just gonna.
You are?
What?
But you're adamant. Did you still go to them and you still test them?
Can I get an aviation, please?
Well, yeah, please.
Thank you.
Yeah. my go-to is the Boulevardier. Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on people.
My bartender couldn't even pronounce it.
I was like, can I get a Boulevardier? He was like,
He came up to me. He's
Boulevard
like,
what?
He's like, hey Tone,
That's it. That is his job.
That
The
guy
bartender
over there
couldn't do it.
with the red hair, he wants like a boulevard or some shit.
Or some shit, eh?
And I'm like, oh, of course he does.
I still want to know what the drink is.
I asked if he had Campari, and you had Campari.
You had Campari.
And I'm like, oh, you can make a Boulevardier.
Boulevardier?
It's fucking 3 ingredients.
All right, don't scream at me, bro. I'm a fucking bartender. Shit.
It's one of the. You see how animated I'm passionate
You're
about.
passionate about it.
Jesus Christ.
I just thought that was cocaine-infused
Oh,
alcohol.
my
I
God.
don't know what the fuck.
Right now he thinks you're wearing a bikini.
Probably.
That's how upset he is.
My nipples. Well, thanks again, Ace. Appreciate you
Well,
joining
thank you guys
us.
for having me. I hope I had a great time while I was here.
I hope you had a great time too.
I hope keep supporting you guys out here.
I hope you guys had a good time. Cheers.
Hold on. For anyone that wants to send hate mail or tweets
Oh, yeah.
or whatever,
Oh, yeah. Give
why
out
don't
your
you go
social
ahead and
handles,
let
yeah.
them know where to send this.
Okay, you can send it to
It's gonna be at the bottom right here.
on the way on the bottom.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be. It's
Oh,
not
you're
right
gonna put it
now.
up there.
Everyone's like, where is it?
Nothing's there.
We have fucking graphic artists now. on
Mario,
the
you're
team.
so fast.
We're growing.
Oh, that was
We're
amazing.
growing. His
No.
contact info will
What is
be
it?
right about here.
Hit subscribe. What?
No. Subscribe there. Where is it? Right here.
You
It says
can- well, you
subscribe
can
right
follow-
here.
Click on the link.
You can follow me on Instagram at Ace of Clubs _LBC. Really simple. Same thing for
The Ace of Spades.
same thing for Instagram, and Ace of Clubs bartending services is right up there too. So
What's that? What's the whole bartending service?
That's a mobile bartending company that I actually run, and I have 150 bartenders under me right now out of
Damn.
OC,
Someone's
ID,
treating.
San Diego, LA, and the only thing they require is that
A
you
bikini.
Look at YouTube. Look at YouTube. It sounds like I got 2 new bartenders for me. But yeah, I mean it's going really well. I run it kind of like a real team kind of thing, like a
I like all this real estate talk. I'm a loan officer, guys. You need a home loan, I got you.
Keep it on the low.
Well, thanks again, Ace. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the SpeakEZ podcast.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe, like us, follow, tell your friends. Peace out.
Salud.
Salud.
Salad.
You don't drink with your heart.
Salad. Come on, check on my food.
Oh, yeah, the music's playing right now.